obviously missing. A nation right now, a nation that has always leaned on God and the pages of the Bible have now turned to toilet paper for comfort. Never question or lose your ability to question what you see or what you hear. Governments, particularly this government, has never been truthful with black people. Never been truthful with people, period, only when it suits their purposes, but never in particular been truthful to black people. And people go, well, I'm not listening to the government. I'm going to listen to the doctors. Who perpetrated the Tuskegee experiment? Who right now, believes that black women don't feel as much pain and don't need as much medical attention? Who right now makes an industry out of performing unnecessary female surgeries on black women? Who did experiments on black people? Who has lied to us consistently? Doctors and governments. Now, I'm certainly not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe this. I've heard them say we underreacted, so we have to overreact now, right? The only way you can make a society compliant is to make them fearful, afraid, and question. When you get afraid, you want it fixed. Who's shouting the loudest? Who's the clearest beacon? That's who I'm going to listen to. Fear constricts the vision. It makes the heart beat fast, and it makes you cede your ability to reason. In any emergency situation, what do they say? Stay calm and think. Keep your wits about you. And that is not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. I'm not saying that part of what they're saying is not true. I'm not saying it's not as bad. I'm saying I don't believe you just because you say it. If the things you thought were going to work were working, we wouldn't have this situation. Because nobody knows. We don't know how you get it. We don't know if this experiment that we're doing is going to work. We don't know what will happen, but we know this. If you are alive and you have questioned things in the past, that very thing that got you here more than likely will carry you through. Common sense. It is not wrong to question people's motives. It's not why, just like a kid. Why? But when you're afraid, right now, we have a Department of Justice that nobody trusts talking about suspending constitutional rights. How can they do that? Because you're afraid and we're not reasoning. A lion, a male lion is not a good hunter at all. It's not a good hunter at all. The female's doing the hunting. You know what a male lion roars into the ground for? To disorient its prey and to make it run right into them. Look at the times when we've ceded, after 9/11, look what we let them do. Not to make us safer, but I remember after 9/11, they had armed, National Guardsmen walking around the airport. How would that have stopped what happened in 9/11? Those men got on with tools and the knives that they were allowed to have. They weren't trying to make you, they weren't trying to solve a problem. They were trying to make it look like they were solving a problem. Even right now, the screening that we go through, test for explosive, the TSA, those things, they test for patent. You can't see it with it anyway. But to make you compliant, they'll make you afraid and then give you a solution that doesn't work. Here's the thing. Never cede your ability to question. Never cede, and obviously we have a lot of misinformation. It's filled with misinformation. But you dealt with lies and misinformation your whole life. And we don't need to spread conspiracy theories. I just don't believe everything everybody tells me. I just don't. I never have. And when people tell me it's not, I don't believe government, I believe doctors. Look what doctors have gotten away with because somebody said they're a doctor, particularly to our communities. Right now. Trust what you have always trusted in. Believe in what you've always believed in. Sometimes it's been your God. Sometimes it's been yourself. Sometimes it's been your ears. Sometimes it's been your first mind. But whatever got you here will get you through this. Never let fear overrule your common sense and your belief in your ability to suss things out. Fear is a commodity that none of us can afford to truck in. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.R. Hughley Show.